What a night, what a crowd.
Makes you glad.
Makes you proud of the kind that I have.
Watching us and watching them.
6 months
Of relief,
Of delight.
of Elysian.
And we can breathe
No more
happiness.
no more death.
Here's a health.
It's a toast to a prosperous year.
The new
Chandelier. Never
6 months.
What a joy.
What a change.
What a blessed rill.
And what a masquerade.
My name is Damon SHUGART.
My name is Julian Tobar.
My name is Chris FELTON.
My name is Cameron Carter.
My name is Michelle Ramirez.
I've sort of always known that I've been different from everyone else since a very young age. In elementary school, I collected lots of Sanrio things from the Hello Kitty store, like little pencil boxes, backpacks to carry around my stuff in, and just minuscule things that I really never thought of being feminine or girly that guys cannot have, because I was never really told that guys can't have these things, it's only for girls. And in middle school, I was more aligned with the way society would look, because I was more interested in the opposite sex than I am currently. I had a crush on 2 girls that were in my class, but ultimately that never happened, because when I entered high school, that's when I really realized that I am more attracted to the same sex rather than the opposite sex.
It was tough. I feel like I always known my identity. I just didn't have a word for it. I've always known that I was different, but I didn't know a word for it. I actually found out the word trans through Starbucks, and just how inclusive my work is. Like, that word just naturally came up in like our vernacular, and I was like, well, what is that? And then I was explaining, I was like, oh, I feel like that sometimes, but it's no big deal. And that happened about like almost like my second year into college. And then like I started like, now that I know this word and I know what it means, and I know that it kind of like identifies with me and I'm in this category, it started to increasingly hinder what I used to do in daily life. Like, other things used to bother me now. Like, she used to bother, like, you started to bother me a bit, and I used to have been like, oh, I want to be called they, but then they started to bother me. And as I got more educated with the community, I started to be like, now I'm not from the outside looking in, I'm actually in the community. And it took me a while to accept that, and I went through a whole bunch of identities trying to figure myself out, but I'm now pretty much sure I'm a trans man now.
I really never told anyone that I was coming out or that I was specifically gay. It was always just known or assumed that I was, because of the way I carried myself. I was very flamboyant in a way, and as you can see now, I am into makeup, so lots of things that came about are really the reason why I never came out to anyone.
I actually don't believe in coming out. I want everything to be normalized. I am a kind of you don't ask questions, you won't get answers type of person. So nobody has never really asked me any questions, so I feel like I shouldn't be able to give answers. I feel like coming out has become this more of like, not like, it's becoming this spectacle that it shouldn't be. Why should somebody like a cis straight man come home with a woman and everybody sees this normal, but I have to have this spectacular coming out convention and bring home a guy, and then it's like, why didn't you tell me? I was like, why should I? Like my brother just brought home a girl the other day. You weren't surprised by that. So my coming out has just been like, everybody's just kind of witnessing it, and I haven't really said anything about it. I kind of like bring it up every other year, but if nobody explicitly asks, I don't tell.
I grew up in a time where there wasn't necessarily an LGBTQ community, or if there was, it wasn't very prominent. It almost felt like every case was isolated, and I feel like that's something that's changed over the years, and it's actually been good for everyone. I feel like the first time I really became aware of someone that was gay was maybe in middle school.
My experience with that really started when I joined the Marine Corps, and my time in the Marine Corps, I really developed and learned a lot about the LGBTQ community, because there was a couple people that were in my platoon and that were at my MOS school in my class that were gay, and we were all men in the platoon, of course, in boot camp.
You know, where I went for middle school, we were always saying things like very innocent, harmless things, but were very harmful. Things like, oh, you're gay, or you're like that, but we didn't really know the seriousness of that.
Yes, growing up, there was always that kid that was getting punked based off of who they were. Never anything like, you can't go to the restroom, or you can't be in this class or whatever. But there was a sense of, we can't be friends with you because of who you are, or nobody's gonna talk to you because you're different.
When I decided to go back to college, community college here at PCC, is when I got the most experience with the LGBTQ plus community, specifically being my best friend, Chris FELTON, who was in the process of transitioning when I met him at the time. And it was really a beautiful thing for me to grow and develop to becoming more accepting of that community, because I'd never had somebody as close to me as he was. And so what I loved about befriending somebody who's a part of that community is that it really opened up my eyes, and it made me realize that the people with significant differences can really form a bond and really form a closeness, just because we're all, at the end of the day, we're just people.
I'm gonna become somebody. I don't know how exactly, but I am. I have to, somehow. Proud of your boy, I'll make you proud of your boy. Believe me, bad as I've been, you're in for a pleasant surprise. I've wasted time, I've wasted me. So say I'm slow for my age, a late bloomer. Okay, I agree that I've been one rotten kid. Some sun, some pride, and some joy. But I'll get over these lousing up, messing up, screwing up times. See, Pa, now comes the better part. Someone's gonna make good cross his stupid heart. Make good and finally make you proud of your boy. Tell me that I've been a louse and a loafer. You won't get a fight here, no ma'am. Say I'm a gold brick, a goof off, no good. But that couldn't be all that I am. Water flows under the bridge, let it pass, let it go. There's no good reason reason why you should believe me, not yet. I know, but someday and soon I'll make you proud of your boy. No, I can't make myself taller or smarter or handsome or wise. Say my best, what else can I do? 'Cause I wasn't born perfect like Dad or you. Dad, we could try hard to make you proud of your boy.
I have never been mistreated for who I was. Of course, there were times that I am scared to go out. We live in a world where hate crime is completely a thing. We live in a world where trans rights and other rights of the LGBTQ are heavily stricken down because of a conservative government, and people that are in politics don't really advocate for the LGBTQ.
Earlier in my transition, I have been mistreated for being who I am, just in the fact that I was pre-testosterone and I didn't have facial hair and my voice wasn't lower, and I feel like it was harder for people to encapsulate the idea just by looking at me and associating that to what society has told them a man is. So I felt like I was misgendered a lot, or I was pushed, like it was like a pushover idea, like, oh, I'll get it eventually, but it never would have. They never really get it. But when I did start taking testosterone, I knew too that it would be easier for people to fall into the he aspect and the man aspect just by looking at me now. Like, I have facial hair, my voice is deepened, so I feel like I don't get mistreated as much now as to my like trans women counterparts and my siblings and all that stuff, and non-binary people. But I think early transition, it was a bit hard.
At PCC, I never have had that thought of being called out or hate crimed because of who I was.
I can say with great confidence that it's not likely for a big event, a big, incident to happen here at PCC, because this place is so welcoming to all kinds of people.
I had a few like allies here when I came to school before I like met everybody in my like arts department, and I met some of my friends that are my best friends now. I had a few like queer allies here at PCC already in different majors, so I knew the school was accepting and they spoke highly of the school. So I knew I wasn't really going to have any trouble here, and I haven't.
I'm also very happy to say I've not witnessed any discrimination towards LGBTQ community here at PCC. I've witnessed just completely the opposite, with how supportive the students are, how supportive the staff are. Everybody gets treated equally here. And I can say that with 110% confidence because I've been here for 3.5 years.
Usually it's very accepting, and I don't see many problems. I don't see bullying. I don't see anything like that.
I feel like a lot of students here are very, very open about their identity, and everyone here, students and professors alike, have all been very gracious about it. I've actually seen most professors that I would have thought would be, not okay with it, or feel some type of way about it. I've seen them be very gracious towards, all the students, and if they have opinions, they keep them to themselves.
Obviously, every school can improve in some way, but I feel like at least the music department has really put the stepping stones to the ladder that I need to climb up to be the greatest that I can be. And I feel like the teachers here and the directors and my instructors have really paved the way, a really perfect way for it to be easy, it to be concise, and to be consistent across the board per person. So I feel like I've been very much prepared for the music industry already.
At PCC, I do believe that they have prepared me for my future and my success. At PCC, there are smaller classes and professors and other opportunities that we can obtain to reach our goals. And if we want to transfer, then we transfer. If we just want to get an associate's and get that educational degree, then that's what we can do.
I came to PCC confused, not knowing what to do and which direction I wanted to take in my music career. And I felt like I came here and the professors knew exactly what I was feeling, and they lined up enough paths for me and they lined up enough tries for me to go in each path to feel like what I wanted to do in the music industry. And I feel like I had a lot of tries and I had a more open status to go through anything I wanted to do here, and I found my path here. The professors are very helpful in guiding me through the path, and I'm very stable in what I want to do, and the professors here are great. I love my music teachers.
Have you ever felt like nobody was there? Have you ever felt forgotten in the middle of nowhere? Have you ever felt like you could disappear? If you could fall, no one would hear.
So let that lonely feeling wash away. 'Cause maybe there's a reason to believe you'll be okay. 'Cause when you don't feel strong enough
feel like the school is great. I feel like the school can obviously do more, but I feel like the school has done enough for us to feel like we are not a hindrance or a burden or an annoyance, or if something that would happen greatly to us, that we wouldn't be silenced. Um, I feel like this is a great school to be at and a great time to be at this school for anybody in the community. I feel like we are accepted here, we are loved here, and if you don't want anybody to know here, nobody would know and nobody would care. And because that's my journey here, nobody knew, nobody cared. If they did knew, and that's just me personally and how my comfort level is. But if you want to express yourself and you want to go all out and you want to be you specifically, there's room here at PCC for that. And I love that about our school.
I see gender identity as just another fact, like gravity or like the human mind, because that's what it is. It's just another discovery. The more people that are educated, then the less, backfire or discomfort there will be towards the LGBT community.
One of the things that I've always kind of believed about, the LGBTQ community is that they're a lot braver than the rest of us, because they've had to, swim upstream to get everyone else to believe the truth that they already believe. And if you can do that, then you should be brave enough to come and accomplish whatever dream you have.
I love the fact that they're a group where people can feel supported with one another. They feel supportive and they feel like they can express themselves freely without having to hold anything back.
From my personal perspective, I feel that the community is very helpful to, help others know who they are as an individual.
I actually really appreciate there being an LGBTQ community. I feel like the LGBTQ community helps people part of the community and people outside of the community, in the sense that it kind of gives us the idea that it's okay to be who you are. There are a lot of people that won't chase their dreams because their parents or their family are not okay with it. And the LGBTQ community just gives the message of being brave and being yourself.
I'd say I'm actively thinking about how I can become more of an ally with the LGBTQ plus community. I have a leg up on a lot of people because my best friend is a trans man, and so the fact that I have a close relationship with somebody from that community is an everyday reminder to myself to be open and to accept people's differences.
Becoming an ally, I think, is definitely something that needs to be active. I feel like it's not something that we can all just be like, no, I'm an ally just because I said so. One of the things that I have been proactive on is trying to use proper pronouns based off of people's identities. I know that it's something that it's a little thing, and for someone like myself who identifies with the gender that I was assigned at birth, it's not something I think about. I've never really had to think about. But I know that for someone who identifies as something that they weren't physically born with, it is something that is important to them. And so I feel like that's one of the ways, anyways, that I have attempted to work to be an ally.
To the people in the community, I would like to say that there are so many people on this earth, and there are so many people who are in your situation.
Be true to who you are, to yourself, because at the end of the day, it is your life that you lead. No amount, no factor of anyone else can tell you otherwise.
For any of you watching who are considering going to PCC, the acceptance here that I've witnessed over the past few years is outstanding. trust me, come here and you'll feel comfortable to pursue your dreams and your education.
To any prospective students or even current students, PCC is a very accepting place. It's a great place to come and be who you are, to accomplish whatever it is that you want.
That's like a basic human right, to be who you are in life. And I think that you're not alone.
Life gets better.
Life gets better.
Life gets better.
Life gets better.
Life gets better.